Yes, yes, yo, that's Here's My Heart by Out of Eden and the Katinas. Before that, we had Just to Be Close to You by Lisa Nicole. Before that was Lovely Day 3.0. Kicked off the show, kicked off the block, kicked off the hour with Lisa Nicole with Just to Be Close to You. What's up, fam? What's cracking? What's popping? It's your boy, Walter Coe, with the one and only queen of gospel radio. I'm hyped, I'm amped, I'm super excited, even though I barely slept last night because, as promised, the queens, the legends, the icons, multi-award winning artists out of Eden's in the building, y'all. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Oh, man.
So glad to be here.
Thank you so much, ladies. You guys came from 3 different parts of the United States all the way to San Diego just to bless us. So just right off the bat, I just want to say thank you. We thank God for you. We honestly love you and appreciate you. Man, we're celebrating 30 years of Out of Eden, what God has done in and through y'all. So let's start with that. Let's go back 30 plus years. First of all, it doesn't look like you guys have been singing 30 years because, like, you know what? You guys started singing when you were toddlers or something.
Pretty much. Felt like it, actually.
Honestly, I think we did.
Oh, yeah. But actually, that's where I want to start. How did you guys grow up singing and getting into music? And if you could add to that, who were some of your musical influences?
Yes. So I'll start. Our mom was a concert pianist and a songwriter in her own right. And she always saw the gift that was in us and would have us, sing at different witnessing opportunities. We'd have to go and sing, or we'd be her opening act. And she heard that, I'm going to date us here, but we already said it's 30 years ago. She heard that a record label in Nashville was looking for the girl version of New Kids on the Block.
Oh, wow.
And she got a job directing the Fifth Jubilee Singers, and we moved to Nashville, and we started dancing for different Christian artists. That's how we met DC Talk, sang for them, and Toby and Joey and Todd started Goatee Production Company so that we could have a home.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, just to add to that, so when we were kids, we were not allowed to listen to any mainstream music at all.
Wow.
So Lisa would just write her own songs from, I don't know what age you were,
I
but
think
it was
5
from
when
the
I-
time I can remember, she was already writing songs.
Wow.
So she would say, okay, guys, let's come together. Okay, Danielle, this is your part. Andrea, this is your part. And, we would try to keep up. And that's really what my mom saw. She saw that we were already doing it. So she's smart. And she put us in dance classes. She put us in piano classes and just really tried to foster that gift and the songwriting talent that Lisa already had. So by the time we were I was 8, we were a fully fledged group. We had our little boys to men outfits.
Yeah. We did a talent show in Nashville that Jamie Foxx hosted.
Wow.
And it was at the War Memorial Auditorium in Nashville, and it was all like gangster rap and just like crazy. And then the 3 of us. And Danielle was legit like, she had to be 8 or 9, 10 maybe.
Yeah, because I was
10.
probably I think I was in 8th grade. So I was 12 or 13.
Wow.
Yeah, and we get on the stage and we're wearing black jean shorts and blue jean tops with ties, and we do this,
Alex
this
Vanderpool
talent show.
look. Wow.
Yes.
I remember Jamie Foxx said, he was like, whatever you do, girls, do not drop this mic. And why did we go on the stage and I just boom.
Because that's a drop mic moment.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
He dropped it right away.
Yeah.
He roasted me after. But
Oh, yeah, he was.
I'm still healing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You asked about our musical influences.
Yeah.
Like Danielle said, we couldn't listen to secular mainstream
Yeah.
music. So I would say BB and CC.
Yes.
Like we knew the rap to the Winans. It's
It's
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stephen Wiley. We knew all the words to Bible Break. So we, it was a little bit of
And even
gospel
like David and the Giants and
Petra.
Petra. I remember we
Petra.
had a dance routine because we wanted to be on Star Search, and we had a dance routine to a Glad song. Like we're throwing it back. Crystal Lewis.
Wow.
These are people.
Amy
Russ
Grant.
Taff,
Amy
Amy
Grant.
Grant. These are people
Wow.
that hugely. And I have to be honest. Like I remember being like 9 or 10. and going over to my neighbor's house and listening to Michael Jackson
Mm-hmm.
records, like on the records.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember us finally being able to listen to some secular
Yeah.
mainstream music, and I got the "I'm Your Baby Tonight" CD, Whitney Houston,
Uh-huh. Oh,
and
yeah.
I would like divvy up we would have to do a concert, and I would be like, okay, I've got the first song, every first song, you've got every second song, and we would like perform that record.
Wow. I'm kind of blown away by that because we were chopping it up in the car, and because your music style is crossover in a sense, at least the beats, you know what I'm saying? Me and Evangel, we always talk about like when we first became believers, we grew up hip hop, old school hip hop and R&B. And so, yeah, we listened to The Winans was like one of the first this time. Yup. And but it was y'all. It was Mary. It was Kirk Franklin. It was Virtue. It was Brent Jones, West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you hear this probably a million times, but thank you. You have been a blessing to millions of people, honestly. When we first became believers, we knew we had to listen to different stuff.
Yeah.
And I still remember, it just seems like yesterday, but I guess it was 30 years ago, Bereans right here in San Diego. And they would have the boombox, and you could put on, the headphones. That's probably where COVID-1 started. But anyways, and they would have open CDs.
Right.
And I remember picking it up. I was like, oh, look at these three cute girls in their T-shirts, you know what I'm saying? And I popped it in, and lovely day, I was like, love at first note.
Aw.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? But I was so
Wow.
thankful for music like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said you guys are icons. But I am surprised because you guys, the vibe, the lyrics, the music was definitely crossover. So that's so dope that you guys still hit it that hard without listening to other stuff growing up, if that makes sense. And I'm sure producers and Toby Mac was
Yeah.
an influence
Oh, for
and
sure.
all that.
Yeah,
sure.
I think there's just some natural soul in there for sure.
Mhm.
But I mean, legit, it was us and Wilson Phillips. Like those were the harmonies we were rocking.
My wife was
Imperials.
happy to hear that.
Yeah. I think what I love about that first album is that Lisa was writing from a place of a teenager, having her first love, dealing with like just real things that teenagers deal with, and we
Yeah.
didn't censor ourselves because we just wrote what we knew. And
Yeah.
so when I listened to There Is a Love, I'm like, I can't believe that was on our first record. Like that song is so real and so honest. And I think that we strive to continue that through all of the CDs
Yeah.
that we put out.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful for the influence of Toby and Todd. So they were really instrumental in that first record. I mean, we wouldn't have known what we were doing. But watching Toby write and like how meticulous he is about lyrics. I mean, he pours over every lyric, and I think we got just this masterclass in songwriting, in being honest, but also bringing hope. And they were really, really instrumental in that project. So
Yeah.
grateful for that.
I would definitely say your first works, those are the most precious because that's when people get in the real you before you become big time and you
Yes,
start
yes.
changing and catering to this and that.
Right.
Those first works are the precious works. And I'm
Yes.
really thankful because I used your music to witness to people.
Oh.
And I didn't grow up in the church at all. Everybody know that now. I say it all the time. But songs like Just the Way. I had a teenage daughter at the time, and that was one of the songs that she always wanted to hear. So
Wow.
I created a mixtape that had y'all on it in DC talking, all of that. It had a lot of mixtures and stuff on there. But when that song came on, people in my car would say, well, who's that, Shell? Who's that? They go, oh, okay, that's Out of Eden. Well, you can turn them up, and I'll turn that song up because it bangs hard, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Certain things you look for when you take a song that hits like that and you want to rock the spot with it. You need the speakers really got to be having that bass and
Yeah.
that 808. I know all about that. And I just wanted to say that because my daughter, I made sure that she was going to be watching today. I said, we're going to have them in the studio. This is the group that you used to always want to listen to in the car. So I'm encouraging her to bring our granddaughter out to the concert tonight
Oh,
too, so that she
yes.
can have the experience of Out of Eden. But I also wanted to thank you for great music over the
Wow.
years.
That's
Thank
amazing. I love it. Means so much to us to hear just the generational blessing of our music. When we first set out to make music, we were like, well, we're young, let's impact our generation. And we really didn't think much past that. But now we're reading comments like people talking about generations of blessing. And we're just sitting here crying because it's like, look what God, you give just the little bit that you have, and look how he multiplies.
Yeah.
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 Indeed.
I want to stay in the past real quick. I want to ask this question before we go to the present, but got to ask this. Tell us how y'all got onto Moesha, okay? All right? Part one of that one. Part two, I would love for you to share your, and Andrea shared your interaction with her. If you could share what you shared with me last night. And number three, did Brandy ever mention me? Because the rumor, was I Want to Be Down was about me.
Oh,
so I was,
okay.
I don't know why everybody laughing.
Come get
Come
get her.
Sources say.
Anyways, how'd you guys get onto the show? Because that's crazy. That is so
I
wild.
do not know the answer.
I don't-
Because
yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I mean, we had management and we had booking agents and we had a publicist, but I don't know if it was that or if it was a personal connection.
I'm gonna forget her name all of a sudden, but the producer of Moesha, I think, was friends with our publicist
Okay.
at the time. I think,
Okay.
but I'm not totally sure.
Mo
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
E to
We
the-
were super excited. I mean, like,
that's
so
one of the
excited.
coolest things that we did. back
Yeah.
then,
I'm just going to throw it out there. I think it was per her request. I think it's per her request. If you want to share the
Well,
story.
Oh.
so I don't know if Brandy knew who we were before we came on her
Oh, okay.
her show, but when we were there, she took us aside and she said, "I want you to listen to my voicemail message." And so we're like, "Okay, like whatever you want, Brandy." And it was Lovely Day that she had on her voicemail.
Yeah.
You
And
remember we used to do that on our
we're
podcast?
like,
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And when we walked in, like we walk onto the set and she looks up and she's got this big, beautiful smile and she starts singing the intro to
Yeah.
Lovely Day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all, the video is still up. You could go to YouTube, look up Out of Eden, Moesha.
yes.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
It's on
Mo to the-
Netflix too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's on. Oh,
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
the
they
whole
did a
episode.
re-release on
Yeah.
Netflix. The whole
Yo.
episode is on Netflix.
I actually went to a taping back in the day when I was in high school to a Moesha, because back then they would ask high schools to come for fundraising.
Oh,
I was like,
right,
yeah,
right,
I'll
right.
sign up for. That'd
Yeah.
been so funny that if I was there for that episode. But real quick, it's so crazy how me and my wife were talking about, like, we were waiting in line, man.
God, man.
We were waiting in line 30 years ago to get your autographs, picture, the whole nine, and now you're here rocking at our church. So
man.
it's just crazy.
It's
so
crazy.
wild. What just thanking God for the legacy that He's given you guys to bless and to promote Jesus and the gospel in this way. So thank you so very much. Man, I'm living in the past. We got to fast forward because we're like
But it is
almost
just
halfway through the show.
yeah, I'll just say real quick, like we never tire of that because it was not the easiest road, and there were things, we had to leave school. We were on the road literally as teenagers. Danielle was 13 years old when we did the DC
That's
Talk
wild.
tour. She lived her entire teenage years as a role model with all of that pressure.
Wow.
And we made tons of mistakes and there were times where we weren't, as welcome as we would have liked to be. And so there was a lot of sacrifice and it was very difficult. So to hear your stories and to hear, other people's stories, it really is like God bringing something full circle. It really is like we're reaping a harvest. And it's just very encouraging for us. So thank you for sharing those stories.
Of
It means a
course.
lot.
And just want to let you know, I shared this in the car, the truck before. Back in the day, the gospel celebration, I know you guys were part of that pioneering group of all the artists that I shared. And there were a lot of churches that didn't accept that type of music, or radios wouldn't spin that type of music. But let me, man, you were being played in San Diego.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So appreciate
definitely.
that.
Everything.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I mean, I think, so shout out to Preacher Man,
Yeah.
Larry Thompson, who's emceeing tonight. But he
Yes.
was the DJ back in the day, and we would just spin everything, you know. And yeah, we did choir, quartet, but we spun y'all, we spun, like I said, Mary, Kirk Franklin, just Brent Jones, just
Yeah.
everybody back in the day, because it was just dope. And y'all were singing about Jesus. So why not? You know what I'm saying? But thank you. Thank you. You definitely have a place in history, but of course, in God's perspective, his kingdom plan.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So let's fast forward. So I've been so nostalgic lately. You know, just
Well, I had my nostalgic moment just
Yeah.
going back to the videos and the roller skates and ponytails and all of that. And I was like, oh my God, you all still look the same.
yes.
Okay, by the way, everybody wish they could just gracefully age. Not everybody can say that. But that was just my moment in time of if we could just freeze frame, you know, those moments and go back and savor them. And I'm just curious, when your kids look at those videos, you know, what do they say?
Well, it's funny because you mentioned love, peace, and happiness. I think with the ponytails.
Yes.
And my daughter was 8 weeks old when I shot that video.
Oh my
And I
God.
was in new motherhood, you know, struggling with like just trying to juggle it all. And I show her that video and I'm like, you were 8 weeks old when we shot
That's
this.
crazy.
So, you know, it's funny because my son at the time was, I think, like 13. And he was born right after we stopped touring. So he never knew me as Andrea from Out of Eden. You know, my daughter remembers a little bit, but I showed my son Looking for Love, and you know, and that's the age where you want to be cool to your
Yes.
kids. And so he watched it, and he was so quiet. And he was like, "Mom, you could dance." I was like, "Yes, I could."
Yes,
And she's still an amazing dancer.
Yes.
No, that's right.
Wow.
I know that's right.
Let's talk about what you guys are doing now on that note, because I know some people like so thankful that you guys are back. You know what I'm saying? But what have you guys been doing since families, occupations, the whole nine?
Everything.
Yeah, I guess we can go down the line. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I'm a mom
By the
of
way,
four.
this is Danielle.
This I'm Danielle.
Yes.
So yes, Danielle, mom of four, married to my husband Gabe, and yeah, just really focused on family for several years. Focused on business. You know, some people play Barbies and they have a family. Well, when we were all playing Barbies, I was the businesswoman Barbie.
Yes. Facts.
So that's what I always wanted to do, and I do that fully now. I'm a senior director of marketing, so just very, you know, work focused and family focused. I also am part of a community called the Rise Community in San Antonio, where we spread the gospel through art. We basically give artists an opportunity to shine and a platform to share their music and their creativity with the world.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
So cool. Love that. It's so awesome for me to just be in this seat and, you know, as the oldest sister, and just see how amazing my siblings are. I'm just so proud of them. So after Out of Eden, started doing acting, theater, did a lot of hosting for Gospel Music Channel, hosted the Verizon Wireless How Sweet the Sound competition with Donna Lawrence. Got a little bit away from music as the artist, like just took time to focus on family and raising Sophia and but always writing and always like ready and willing for any opportunity. My church, Every Nation, started doing music, and so I would write with them and do some songs with them. And then in 2020, release It Belongs to Me. And then 2022, release Same God, and now Just to Be Close to You. So my trajectory has still been music and the arts, and you know, still doing like solo music and planning for a solo project, but definitely wanted to take this time to just to come back home and to celebrate this anniversary.
Yeah, and so I actually have always been into medicine and science, although I was, also creative and out of Eden. And so I had always wanted to be a doctor.
Wow.
And then, out of Eden was just like, no, you can't do that right now. So then when I, was a little bit older, I was like, I think I actually want to go to nursing school. And so I graduated in 2011 and have been working in the neonatal ICU
Wow.
for about 8 years and
Congratulations.
have 3 kids.
Wow.
Been married for 27 years. So, yeah, a lot going on. 2 kids in college, so, and a 6-year-old. So.
That's awesome.
Wild.
That's awesome.
Wild.
Man. And so, tell us the story how you guys want to come back into the music scene as a group and celebrating your 30-year anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah. And like maybe some people might have asked, oh, how come that didn't? I mean, you guys didn't go full force at your 25th. Like, why 30?
That's a great question, and I guess that answers Tammy Anderson's question. That's
What's
have
up, Tammy?
been- hey, 30 years we've been singing gospel music, which is wild.
Wow.
Yeah. So we did think about it at our 20-year anniversary, and we were like, well, do you want to do something? No. Do you wanna do something? No. Well, we just couldn't really, it just didn't feel like the right time.
And we participated in the Goatee 20th anniversary
That's true,
project.
we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compilation.
we did
Yeah,
that.
I remember that.
That was 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out 2014. So we did that, but we
Yeah.
didn't want to go full-fledged. And then in 2019, we did a reunion concert for Lisa's church in D.C., Chantilly, Virginia, excuse me. And that was wonderful, but it still wasn't quite the right time. So one of our fan friends actually reached out to us on Instagram and was like, it's the 30th year anniversary of Lovely Day. And we were like, that's not possible because I promise I'm still 29, right? Right. So we were shocked, but also I just, it has to be a God thing.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, all of us were like, do you want to do something? Do you want to do something? I want to do something. Do you want? And then the support flowed in, the label flowed
Yes, shout out
in.
Dare Records.
Yes, Dare Records. And it all lined up in the way only God can line it up. So we
Yeah.
were like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even in that, now this is probably another question somebody probably ought to ask you. What are your goals with you all coming together for this reunion? You said it's going to be an EP? It's going to be an EP?
Yes.
What are your goals with the EP now, with where Out of Eden is now? Because he already shot down my hopes. I said, is there a tour? He said, no, because they have too many other things. He said it would be more like spot dates where you're doing spot dates and appear. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. But what are you also hoping will happen with this EP? We know what we're going to get. It's still going to be ministry. It's still going to be great. But what else in addition to that?
So it's interesting. I feel like goal setting is it's an interesting thing for me because so much of my life has been the Lord just making a way, the Lord just doing things, and I've learned that I have to let go. I think I used to hold on to things like really, really tightly and be very, very type A and controlling, and I've just learned I have to release and I have to let go. So, and God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we could ask or think. So I think for me personally, our goal was to thank the fans. Our goal was to honor the legacy of Out of Eden. I think sometimes, it's like, people forgot about us. Like, what happened? And not the real, not the day ones, not the real, but just even like industry wise, we just wanted to just do something to just honor what God did through us. Thank the Lord, thank our fans, thank those that have supported us through the years. And to, our hope is that we can continue to inspire, that we can put out some relevant music, that we can encourage people out there, and that we can do it with excellence. And I feel like if we put our hand to the plow, God will do what only He can do.
Yeah. I would add, so we'll be doing an original song or two, so they're not all reimagined songs. And we're really looking forward to writing songs that speak to modern day issues, modern day needs.
That's good.
Because, like you said, when you bump one of our songs from the past, yeah, the beat might be there, but the lyrics are there as well. And we're talking about real stuff that we were going through, that peers were going through. And we want to do that again, but for the people who need it right now.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You want to add something to that?
Yeah, I mean, we one of our goals is definitely to gather our fans. You know, it's hard in a time when social media is very much who you follow, right? So you don't really know what everyone is doing, and we just want to gather our fans. Like, let's remember together. Let's be nostalgic together. I know when I see one of my favorite groups from the past coming back in, I'm like, I want whatever you have to give me. So we just want to honor that, and then just celebrate that we are still following God, that we are still loving God, and that God is still working in our lives.
Yes.
And that no matter where you are in your life, you can still follow dreams, even when you have busy family lives, busy work lives. Like, just encouraging people, like, whatever it is that you also want to do, you can make space for that.
That's
so,
right.
Yes. So follow us
yes.
on at Out of Eden Official on Instagram and Out of Eden
Out of Eden on Facebook.
and
Out of Eden Official on YouTube.
yes, and you guys, Danielle has she's amazing at all of this.
Yes.
But we have so many. Like, go to our YouTube page if you want the walk down memory lane and to be caught up on what we're doing. There's a lot of content there. So
Man, we've been chopping it up for weeks, past month. You would hate me if I was your manager because I have like all these stuff I would want you guys to do. You know what I'm saying? But your husbands might be mad at me. You know what I'm saying? But
Nothing else. Nothing else.
so we love Lovely Day and Fitting 3.0. How'd you guys come up with that concept with just that Caribbean island vibe? How did you guys come up with that?
So it's interesting. So we knew that Lovely Day was one of the songs that we wanted to reimagine. Danielle had done a post on our Instagram page, and we'd gotten a response of like, what songs do you want, us to redo?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And so, that was one of them. And I was just in the house, and I was just like, I don't know, a melody just dropped in my spirit, and that was the melody. Da, 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 da. And then it was like, ooh, that's like a vibe, and that could be like an Afrobeats vibe. And so I called up my good friend, the MD for my church, Grace Covenant, and sent him a voice note, Darian Duncan, and I was like, can you make music to this? And he also did just to be close to you, and he created the music, and then I shared it with my sisters, and they were on board. But it was just, it's just creativity is like a funny thing. Like I think there is a practice to it and a habit to it that you do have to like do the work, and then sometimes the Lord has tremendous grace and just drops an idea in your spirit.
Yeah. And so what? Do you guys know what you guys are doing next in terms of music?
Yes, so we're also reimagining Meditate. We're reimagining some of the older ones, some of the newer ones, like the Love, Peace, and Happiness record. I don't know what I would do differently to those songs.
I think somebody should spit in the middle of Just the Way. I'm just throwing that out there. Lecrae, if you want to jump on the track.
If you want to do
For the right price, I might jump on it
there
too,
you
but
go.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just throwing that out there. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes, no, sure. So far, like we're talking about Window, we're talking about Meditate, we're talking about Here's My Heart. And then also, like Danielle said, a couple of new songs that will also be on the project. So yeah, it's one of those things like we aren't in the same city anymore, and we do all have like busy lives, but we're trying to make space to record it as soon as possible so we can put it out in spring 2025.
Spring 2025 exclusives right here.
Yes.
You know, the funny thing, I was just sharing with the ladies at church, we were talking about what our favorite OOE song was.
Oh.
And everybody had a different favorite song, which, I mean, it got slightly heated. But anyways, it just goes to show your library. You know what I'm saying? Just how extensive and how eclectic and how broad of music that you guys do. It's all dope, but it was so funny. It was just like a bunch of us, like, we were just throwing out songs, and everybody had a different favorite songs.
Yeah,
It was wild.
there's songs that somebody posted on Instagram. He does these drive time stories, and he posted a song "Good Time" that I had completely forgotten.
Is that the disco song?
It's a good
Yeah.
time. No, not that.
No, wait.
A good time.
No, I'm
to
thinking
be-
of Ain't Nothing But a Good Thing.
Oh my
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I
posted, it's a good time to get free inside. And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh, I haven't heard that in so
I totally
long.
forgot that we ever did that song, and I'm proud of our discography. I'm proud that we fulfilled our record deal.
Yeah.
Not many artists, you can say that they did that. So,
Second project. Eric Enrica's favorite is "It's Me."
oh
yeah, that goes
yeah.
back.
Love that
Yeah.
one, but she's taking us back there.
Wow, thank you.
I'm just throwing this out. I'm not going to throw out to Out of Eden. I'm throwing out to Dare Records.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm stealing this from Boys to Men because when they did 20 year anniversary, they did a 2 CD project. One,
Putting pressure on them
all-
to do a 2 CD project.
they redid the original hits and
Okay.
another whole CD of new music.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And they
okay.
got Babyface back on the track and all that. But anyways, I think it's 30 years, 15 songs on one CD, reimagined.
That's what he was saying if he was
Right, right,
and,
right,
and
right.
15 original. So
Yes.
30 songs right there.
Wow,
Old
wow.
school.
You are
I'm
putting
just,
us to work.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
I apologize to all your husbands, but
we
I'll,
need a GoFundMe
Oh, yeah.
to
Talk
so
about
we can quit our jobs.
I'll get you a Nike deal, reimagined shoes.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Get back on tour with Brandy. You know
There
what I'm
you
saying?
go.
I'll hit her up. You know what I'm saying? Get you on
Big dreams.
shows. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
I
Somebody
did have a
hire
question,
him
too.
quick.
Okay. I wanted to know, are any of your children getting on tracks with you? Are they going to be on anything?
It's so funny that you mentioned that because I do believe that some of them have musical giftings. Soph she's got a beautiful voice, like not
Yep.
like that X Factor, like she's not, which I think is incredible. She's not in that way,
Okay.
but she's got this beautiful tone and she can really
Angelic.
hear music. And she can understand music, and she knows a hit when she hears it. Like she
Okay.
always has, like from the time she was a kid. So we've been talking about like getting her like a garage band, and she likes to make beats and the whole thing. So hopefully, she was on at the very end of our Christmas project, the Juan and Lisa Winans Christmas project. The end of More Than Once, you can hear her little voice when she was a lot younger. But and then
And all my kids sing. All
Oh,
of
wow.
them. I feel like sometimes Lisa, it's like they're Lisa's kids. Like,
I would
it's
take them in a
weird.
heartbeat.
They all write songs. They all hear music. They all go, "Mommy, what about this?" And they wanted to be a band before they even knew that I was a singer. Like they
Wow.
just immediately were like, "Okay, you do this part, not just
Wow.
exactly what Lisa did growing
she
up.
was
That's
younger."
what my oldest does." And so they want their own musical YouTube. That I'm like, come on, guys, can we be 10? Like, just,
Right.
Yeah.
like, get to 10, and then I'll give you your own YouTube. They're
Yeah.
like, but I have a song now. They sing it all together. It's so
I
cute.
know. It's so hard because it's like yet another thing that you're like, I'm trying to parent you, and then we'll have
Right.
to like, but so my niece, Aya was in the studio. All of them were in the studio with us when we recorded Lovely Day 3.0. And she comes over to the soundboard where I'm kind of like producing vocals, and she's like pushing the talk back button, and she's like, okay, like do it again, like one more time, but just with more vibe. And it was just like watching.
I like that.
It's just beautiful. Like I was like, don't fall apart. I wanted to cry so bad, but I had to work. But it's a wonderful thing.
Now, what kind of, let's talk about the next generation since we're talking about kids. Of course, you guys are sisters, so slightly dynamic than some other groups. But what is some of the advice that you could give for the next upcoming artists, especially in the gospel CCM industry?
Yes. Oh wow. Gosh, it's like 30 years of lessons swirling through my brain right now, trying to which one's gonna get out.
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah.
I would say that know that there's room for you. I think one of the things that has changed from 30 years ago to now is that you can, someone can be huge and I can never have heard of them. Whereas it used to be more centralized. You needed to be on the radio or you needed to have a record label. Now you don't need any of that. So I would say make your music, start right where you are. Of course, social media is very big. If you can get a following on social media, that's what record labels are looking for. Whether you go independent or you go with a label, you know, you really do need to build up that following. But there is room for you. Also, we were at GMA Dove Awards this year, and seeing on the red carpet the diversity of talent, the diversity of musical styles, like that was non-existent 30 years ago. It was one style of music, and then us, and then it was Kirk. That, you know, for years,
Yeah.
that's what
In
it
that's
was.
not in existence, but in
Not
that
in
space.
existence, in
Yeah.
that space specifically. But now you go and there's gospel, there's hip hop, there's, you know, quartet music, there's Southern gospel, just everything. It's beautiful. So whatever is in your heart to do, whatever sound God gave you, develop it and start to put it out into the world because there's room for you.
Yeah, yeah, amen. I think I would just add to that to be authentic. The world doesn't need a carbon copy of somebody else. They need you. And if God has put something in your heart, He's created an audience for that. So just be authentic. And you know, it sounds cliche, but you really do need to prioritize your relationship with God because fame is not meant for us. We're meant to worship and not be worshipped. And I think it can be really difficult when you get that kind of like adoration to just, you know, stay, like maintain like some level of humanity. You know, we see what happens to people. So just really putting the Lord first and making sure that you are trying to reflect Him versus get the glory for yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, I would say that our foundation was a relationship with God. And I think that is what kept us going for as long as we did. Because like Lisa said, it was not easy. And, you know, and people are coming to you for all the answers. And oftentimes it'd be like, let me go to God because I don't have all the answers, especially when we were teenagers, you know. But that foundation in God was what kept us going.
Amen. Now, we haven't touched on your husbands, and I know they all play a very valuable role in who you are today. Who wants to start first, shouting out your husband? Tell us something special or significant about your spouse.
Well, my husband is Drew, and we've been married for 27 years. And I met him when we were on the DC Talk Tour, so I've known him for a long time. And, you know, I couldn't be out here if he wasn't holding down the fort at home. So I really appreciate him and all that he used to tour manage us as well.
Yes.
So we traveled separately and together.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
And I'm gonna do like a certain shout out or a certain type of shout out. What's it called when you're like an ad shout out? Because Juan Winans has a song with Toby Mac that comes out today called Rear View. So I want everybody to check that out. Yes. Go cop that. It's like a fantastic song. So go cop that.
Real quick, I got in trouble with Juan one time. He sent me music and I played it before I was supposed to. So I'm thinking that's why he didn't tell me about this.
Yeah.
Why did Juan didn't tell me? I was like, oh wait, I blew it last time. But love you, Juan. Love you.
Getting your hand slapped just a little bit there.
Like too soon.
Yeah, I'll shout out my husband who may be watching. He is my biggest supporter, all of our biggest supporter. He's awesome. He's holding it down with the 4 kids today. In my absence, we're about to celebrate 10 years of marriage on November 29th. So, yeah, he's awesome.
And a few hours, happy birthday as well.
Yay!
Turning 29, praise
That's
the Lord.
right. 29 otra vez.
Órale. Now, our time is up. I can't believe it's already up. We should have done like a 3-hour block. But I just want to say on behalf of our station, GODRadio1.com, on behalf of San Diego, on behalf of all your fans, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank God for you. And I know you guys hear this a lot, but please know that God has used y'all to be a major impact on so many different people. Like we would rock out to your fast songs, and they would minister, but also your slow songs, you know, it just ministered as well. Thank you for the years of music. Thank you for being wonderful examples of not only of as women of God, but as sisters, but also just being a Christian in general. You know, in that time, you guys were pioneers, and thank you for coming back 30 years, celebrating that here with us. Thank you so much. I don't know, we love music so much. I think back in the day, we would play music. Remember the days we would roll down the windows? Well, at least in Cali, we would roll down the windows and sunroof, and we would just cruise when gas was cheaper, when it was $1, and we would just cruise and listen to music, right?
Yeah.
We can't do that no more. We got to park and listen to music. Because so, but also, you guys did music that it was just built different. We were just talking about 80s and 90s music was just different. It was just different. I know we were talking at the airport. I guess every generation would say that, but I still think our years is the golden,
I do too.
and it's the best. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely a separate vibe. And you guys were a part of that. You guys were such a huge part of that historic era of music, and I'm so grateful for y'all. And I'm speaking on behalf of everybody, and we love y'all, and we're praying for y'all, and we're super excited about tonight. And just for you guys to do what you do, you know. And you guys are encouraging right off the bat, coming back together as sisters, as wives, as moms. And when we first saw you guys as teenagers, 13 years old, you know, so dropping hit after hit after hit, you know what I'm saying? So please know, sorry to sound like a broken record, yes, pun intended, but we thank God for y'all, and we love y'all, and we appreciate y'all so very much. This is a dream to think about. Just feels like just yesterday at KPRZ, popping in the CD on a Sunday morning, 12:10 a.m. That's the station called Letters, and playing Out of Eden. After a Mouse Head crusade, lining up to get an autograph and to have them to come and bless in this way. So I want to invite everybody. It's not over. The party ain't over. You could meet Out of Eden tonight. Doors open up at 6:30 p.m. We're going to kick it off at 7 p.m. I am Korean. We will try to do 7 p.m. Featuring the legends, the icons, the queens, Out of Eden, celebrating 30 years, y'all. 30 years, praise the Lord. And Avidity Award winners, My Family, LOCF Worship. And there's going to be, just going to throw it out there, there's going to be a special collab tonight. And it's not Toby Mac. He may show up, who knows. But there's going to be a special collab tonight, but hosted by, I can't wait till you guys meet him too, because he was the first. I think I relayed it to him, but he was the first to break you off right here in San Diego.
Wow.
Preacher Man, Reverend Larry Thompson. You're thinking, man, this sounds expensive. No, it's free. It's free admission, but seating is limited. It's going to be an intimate concert. But don't get it twisted. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, bamboozle y'all. There will be a love offering. All right? So it's happening at LOCF Church. That's Love of Christ Fellowship Church, located at 9770 Carroll Center Road, Suite F, San Diego, California, 92126. I was accused of talking too fast, so I'll do it one more time. 9770 Carroll Center Road, Suite F, San Diego, California, 92126. I want to shout out the sponsors, because we couldn't have done it without the sponsors as well. And so give me 1 second. Yeah, but I'm trying to read the phone number real quick. So, but let me shout out Smackin' Guamanian Grill, my family right there. Mad delicious food right on Miramar Road. The family at LB Charitable Foundation. Couldn't have done it without them. Couldn't have done it with Love of Christ Fellowship Church. Of course, couldn't have done it without GODRadio1.com and GOD Gospel On Demand Radio. And U Group Real Estate. Hit up my boy CJ at, 858. Evangel, talk for just a little bit, if you would.
We're expecting to see you all come out tonight, and bring friends with you, please, because this is a free concert. We don't get this type of concert like this all the time, from a reunion performance from, one of the most iconic girl groups. And I don't know too many girl groups out right now that were rocking as hard as you all were rocking back in the day. So I think you all are also going to challenge some people to come forward.
Absolutely.
They need to come forward.
Yeah, and we want to encourage people to come give. I was blessed to do this event last year. Remarkable organization. I was
Praise
just
God.
moved by what you all are able to do with 3XL. And so we want to encourage everybody, come prepared to be generous.
Thank you. Praise God. My boy CJU, for all your real estate needs. Doing it this hard in San Diego. He's the best. Yo, hit him up at 858-761-7713, 858-761-7713. Any last words out of Eden?
We're excited to see you all tonight. It's
Cannot
gonna be
wait.
so much
We
fun.
can't wait. We can't sing all of your favorites, but we hope, we hit a couple and we hit some, and we just are excited for y'all to just come and celebrate with us.
Well, praise God. Out of Eden. Follow them on social media. New project dropping in 2025. Once again, we thank God for y'all, and we love y'all. Appreciate y'all so very much. Last song will be Love, Peace, and Happiness. Right? Let's do that one. Yeah. Yo, always keep it locked to GODRated1.com. See you tonight and Sunday. God bless. Much love. Peace. Yay, yay.